In today's video, I'm going to share with you how I helped a client go from making $40,000 a year to manifesting $60,000 in 1 month in about a 2-year time span. And this gentleman went from $40,000 a year to $200,000 a year the next year, and now he's looking at breaking over $500,000 in this calendar year. Now, here's one of the biggest things that I see people kind of miss or forget when it comes to manifestation, and this is how I help this client do this as well, is whenever you want to manifest to go to higher and higher levels, before you actually add anything, we need to remove the blocks and the barriers that are in your subconscious mind that are keeping you from breaking through. So let me explain. So let's imagine that you had a 5-mile drive that you had to go down, and your goal was to get from where you're at to the 5 miles as fast as possible. Now, let's imagine that every 30 yards or so, that there was a barrier in the way. And another 30 yards, another 30 yards, another 30 yards. Well, guess what? It doesn't matter how much faster you make that car. If there's barriers along this path, you will not go much faster. So rather than trying to soup up the car, aka manifestation techniques like visualizing and all this other stuff, and there's millions of different techniques you see online. But what would actually be quicker? Well, what would be quicker is to remove the barriers that are in the way. So that way, taking the same exact car, you could actually take a slower car, but by removing the barriers, you get from point A to point B in a fraction of the time. And then once you remove the barriers, then if you want to soup up your car, aka add all the affirmations, the visualizations, the breath work, all the other techniques, then you can get there. And this is the number one thing that holds people back from actually manifesting what they want, is they don't clear the blocks first. So yeah, you might be going that direction, but you're going through so much, it's going to take forever to get there. Now, how we actually identify and remove those blocks is case by case for each person, because what happens is, whether you realize it or not, is you have developed subconscious beliefs throughout your entire life, from the day you were born all the way up until now, that either support you in your success or they hinder your success. And the reason why we create these beliefs is because our subconscious mind is always looking to protect us. So let's say, as an example, if you want to have more success in your business, but you're afraid of what people might think of you if you put yourself out there on social media, well, that's a mental block that you're creating for yourself, right? And this is something that goes back to rejection in childhood and things like this, and fear of being abandoned. And so as we identify these beliefs, then we can begin to shift them at a subconscious level and what they mean. Now, believe it or not, a lot of our beliefs do happen before we are even born. So our mother is pregnant with us. If she has certain beliefs around money and success and manifestation, it will hinder your success. Now, with this client in particular, some of the main beliefs that we had to help him overcome is feeling like he wasn't good enough or not deserving of certain levels of success. Now, there's a saying in business, new levels, new devils, right? So what that means is that as you progress through and you break through to new levels, you break through a current ceiling you're dealing with, there's another ceiling that's there, right? So like me, for my personal self, going from just solo Dom, the hypnotist, while at one point being an employee, then becoming a solopreneur, then having a couple of team members, and then having to hire managers and leadership and doing live events and all those other things. At each level, I had to break through. So as you start to go to these higher and higher levels, we have to identify what these blocks are and remove them. So for him, and I'm going to show you how to do this for yourself right now, some of the major blocks were believing he wasn't good enough to build a sales team. He wasn't good enough to do sales. He was afraid that as he made more money and as he became more successful, that his family would look at him differently because he grew up poor. So he's like, well, if I start having all this success, my family's going to I'm going to be the black sheep of the family. So as we identify these, we remove them, boom, $60K a month. Now, here's a way that you can actually do this. By the way, guys, if you're liking this so far, hit that little like button. If this is resonating with you, like, oh my God, he's right. Yeah, the 5-mile drive, like rather than trying to make my car faster, let me just remove the blocks, and then I can get there much, much faster without having to do much more. So this is how you can identify subconscious beliefs that you have around money and success, and that is to fill in the blank. So in other words, oftentimes when I put clients under hypnosis, I'll say, hey, I want you to fill in the blank here. Okay, and then I'll say, I'm not good enough to, and then they'll say, whatever, right? I'm not good enough to make lots of money. I'm not good enough to be a leader. I'm not good enough to sell. I'm not good enough for people to be attracted to me. Whatever it may be. So as you get this list out, you can identify what these beliefs are. So here's what I want you to do as a little practice. In a moment, not yet, I want you to pause the video and just close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, and then just ask yourself that question. Say, okay, subconscious mind, I'm gonna fill in the blank, and you just say the very first thing that comes to your mind. You say, okay, fill in the blank, and then you ask yourself, okay, I'm not good enough to, and then whatever comes up, you write it down. I'm not good enough to, whatever comes up, you write it down. Now, another one you can use is, I'm not worthy of, or I don't deserve money or success because, okay? I don't deserve money or success because, and then you fill in the blank. And then what will happen is all these beliefs will come to you. I don't deserve money because I'm not smart enough. I don't deserve money because I grew up poor. I don't deserve money because money is bad. I don't deserve money because, I'll feel guilty for being successful. And once you have this list, these are the blocks, right? These are the blocks on that 5 mile journey. And then we can begin to do a deeper dive to see what is it that's actually holding you back from breaking through to that next level. Now, the next step in this is once you have the beliefs, we have to identify where it started. Was it something that started when you were really young? Was it something that it was inherited through your parents, your grandparents, your great-grandparents, so on and so forth? And once we can get to the root of it, okay, we go back and we shift our perspective of what those events mean to us. Because at the end of the day, the only reason we adopt these limiting beliefs is our perspective on what it means, right? How we observe these events that happen to us. So if we observe them in a negative outcome and we say, oh, money is bad because of this, but then you go back and you reframe money, actually, the more money I have, the more people I can help. The more money I have, the more impact I can help. The more money I have, I can help my friends and my family. And once you start to make those shifts at a subconscious level, manifestation becomes very, very easily. Now, the last thing that I have my client do, so we remove the blocks. Then also I have them listen to my money magnetism sleep hypnosis. So the money magnetism sleep hypnosis programs your subconscious mind while you're sleeping to attract more opportunities to you. Now, this guy, it was funny because in the sessions we were doing, we had to reschedule a handful of times. He's like, Dom, I'm so busy right now. Like he literally set company records, regional records. Like he's the best in his entire company. And he's like, yeah, every night I go to bed, I listen to the money magnetism sleep hypnosis. And again, this guy went from $40,000 a year to doing a $60,000 a month. And again, I know people are skeptical on whether or not sleep hypnosis and stuff like that works, but at the end of the day, when you're sleeping, your subconscious mind is always listening. So if you're listening to abundance is flowing to you, opportunities are coming to you 8 hours a night, guys, eventually if you stick to it enough, it's going to happen. So what you can do in the meantime is you can start to program your subconscious mind through affirmations, through self-hypnosis, through doing these types of practices, and that focuses your reticular activating system on creating those opportunities. All right, guys. So, guys, if you're a business owner, if this resonates with you, you're like, Dom, I want the rapid results. I don't want to try to figure this out on my own. I'd rather just hire the professional, the best, to help me go from that point A to point B, remove all those blocks. There's going to be a link down in the description for you to book a free consultation with my team. They're going to do a deep dive and do some hypnotic testing to see if you and I would be a good fit to work together, or you and somebody on my team would be a good fit to work together. And this is really for business owners and salespeople. Those are the people we specialize in helping. Now, if you're somebody who wants to learn how to do hypnosis, whether you want to do self-hypnosis, you want to help your friends and family, or you want to add it to what your business currently is, or you want to do this full time like me, there's going to be a link down in the description for a free hypnosis training. It's a little bit of a deeper dive than the stuff I go over here on YouTube. So get access to that. Hit that like button. Oh, also guys, comment below what your mind said you didn't deserve. We'll see you in the next video.